while the policy is good, I guess some things are not, some other things need to be put in place before you implement that kind of policy. But I mean, we've seen different things across media where customs will say they've been able to increase their revenue based on the fact that the borders are closed and also. And President Buhari has come out to say that until most of these neighboring countries, fulfill the conditions that they've laid out,
Mm-hmm.
most the borders will probably remain closed, for a while. But as it is, as far as inflation is concerned, the direction is very obvious. It looks like it's going to keep ticking up.
Mm-hmm.
Year-on-year numbers will continue to go higher.
Yeah.
Aside the border closure, there's the VAT that has been signed already. I think it was signed last week.
Yeah.
As well as your electricity tariff that has a very high probability of, coming on board this year. So, there's been a lot of, we're not doing it, we're doing it, we're not doing it, but it looks more like there's a higher probability of its occurrence this year.
Mm.
And we're estimating like a 23% increase. So definitely you can tell that the inflation trajectory is upward, for 2020.
Okay.
That's very
So
clear.
now here's the question that listeners want to know. Yeah, it's at 11.9, which you can approximate to 12%. What instruments are out there that can allow our listeners and anybody else who wants to invest in the Nigerian climate that can beat inflation right now? Because if you're below 11.9, your real returns are negative. They're
Well,
negative. They're in the red zone.
yeah,
Huh?
yeah,
Okay,
true.
so
But
what we got?
I mean, if you already know that the T bills are pretty low. They are less than 5% at the
Nobody even needs to
moment.
talk about
So
T-bills.
if you want to get anything now, maybe you probably be looking at the equities market. Some you might still be able to get some dividend yield from there.
Mm-hmm.
That might be able to give you something interesting. Also you might start to you might want to do the long term instruments and play some sort of have some tactical play in the market.
Mm.
Buy maybe like a 5-year bill, sell before maturity. You might be able to get some gains from there. But really, if you are going to, I mean, everybody literally used to do the short term
Yes,
instruments.
they did.
And if you're going to get anything right now, you can't go into OMO. OMO is only for banks and FPIs. If you're going to do anything, it's either you go for the equities market
Mm-hmm.
or you just go for the long term bonds, basically.
Hmm. Well, I will say this. I hope I don't get in trouble with our sales and marketing. Ren Money says they have an instrument that's doing 13%. So I saw that over the weekend. So if you guys want to check that out, Ren Money, they are reputable. They pretty much are a lender as far as payday loans, personal loans and stuff. So that's what they do. But they're only on the flip side. They're offering. I saw it. I saw an instrument they're offering. I don't know what the details are, but what they were advertising was 13%. Outside of that is what Olamide has mentioned. I have to give a shout out to everybody that came through for the Nairametrics 2020 economic outlook over the weekend. All the listeners of Business Express that I met. Shout out to Ugo Dre, Cheta, Wale Okorinboye, Yomi the Prof, Yomi Fawahimi, and Mr. Femi Badem from KPMG. All the panelists that came through was a very, very, very interesting outing, and all the listeners that I met. Shout out to you. We need to do more economic outlooks. Let's see, Dayo here, Rotus and the crew. Can you please discuss this Access Bank acquisition in Kenya? That's an old story. I mean, Access is just expanding its footprint across Africa. I mean, that was something that was discussed quite a while back. So I think they've tied that up now, and that's been concluded. What's Benga Kamu saying here? Good morning to you, Benga. We hope VAT is not added to the foods that are exempt from the increase by retailers and supermarkets in Nigeria. Benga, they're supposed to follow the rules. Huh? They're supposed to follow the rules. What's on the exempt list should be exempt. Now, you and I, of course, are the ones that are buying it. We have to make sure that these rules are followed. Who's sending this message here? Is this Rotimi? Why complain about the constant downward trend of the Nigerian Treasury bill rate when you can earn up to tell? Yeah, okay, yeah. So Rotimi, I just mentioned that. Rotimi is, I think Rotimi works to rent money. He just mentioned that. Why? So why are you complaining about T-bills when rent money is doing 13%? So I already mentioned that. Let's see now. This is from Darlington, from my papa. Good morning, Rotus and Olamide. Egypt has started reaping the fruits of its monetary policy as regards the currency floating, backed with reforms by gradually phasing out oil subsidies and incentivizing the private sector. But we down here, we keep kicking the can down the road. Sooner than later, we will bite this silver bullet. Last, we will all get sense. Darlington from my papa. So again, it's the devaluation talk. We talked that
Yeah.
was discussed at the Nairametrics Economic Outlook. Everybody was asked to give a yes or no whether it will happen. So how do you feel? I'm
Well,
sorry, I know I've asked you this several times, huh?
well, as far as devaluation is concerned, yeah, it's obvious, but like right now, we should be looking at some sort of devaluation. I think based on our estimates,
Uh huh.
current naira should be at about say 390 to 400.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I mean, you can Egypt, yeah, kicked they did it and it worked for them, yeah. But I think some structures still need to be in place in
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if you devalue your currency and you have still not fixed the structural issues whereby you know your exports are cheap and your devaluation works for you
Yeah.
and all of that, then you are literally back to the same thing. So you devalue, inflation goes up, things are expensive, but the benefits of your devaluation,
Mm-hmm.
fine, foreign portfolio flows they'll come in,
Yeah.
FDIs will most likely come in,
Mm-hmm.
and there'll be some sort of investment. But also very important is all those policies that would for more economic policies that will support most of these businesses, because devaluation is key,
Yeah.
which would go a long way in bringing in more money into the economy. But very importantly is the little things, the little policies that would support most of these businesses. They don't come in and then light is a very big problem,
Right. Right.
which is like really major.
Mm.
And then if you're going to devalue, you need policies. At least if you're going to devalue and then FDIs will come in, you first for targets maybe FDIs that will go for probably the power sector first,
Mm-hmm.
not just, you have to be strategic about it. So maybe we claim we don't have the resources to build all of this infrastructure and all of that, but if you're going to even devalue and you want to get the maximum benefits from it,
Mm-hmm.
there needs to be strategies that will be put in place, that so that you don't eventually regret the so-called devaluation
Right.
that should help you is what is biting you, at the end of the day.
Cool. All right. All right. All right. I still think it's gonna happen. Yeah, we'll see how. What's your very very good points you've made here. Tony says. Good morning, guys. Rotus, please. We're still paying 50 naira at filling stations. Please comment. Okay, Tony from Ogudu. All right, Tony, you have a pen. I hope you're not driving. Last Copa. This is the number that they said to call if you're still purchasing fuel at point PO with POS and they're charging you 081 249 93895. 081 249 93895. There's another number here, 090 643 23154. 090 643 23154. There's even a third number here, 080 925 09777. 080 925 09777. So call Las Copa, give them the location of the fuel station that is still charging 50 naira on point of sale transactions, because I'm not seeing it anymore in my neighborhoods. Are you still seeing any such thing?
Yeah.
You are? Really?
Yes, I just use my cash whenever they come up with stories like that.
Report them. That's what Las Copa said. Although someone reported them and they said Las Copa was telling them stories about going there and they gave them homework to do. They should go and get they said go and get the location, go get something. Anyway, just call the number and hopefully something works. What's next now? Okay, yeah. Our public debts. Olamide, we got to keep talking about this because we know there's a budget deficit. We know we have to borrow money.
Yeah.
Where are we at with our public debt?
25.7 trillion.
See me, I was saying 2.6.
Total public debt. Yeah, 25.7 trillion.
25.7 trillion. How much is our budget? 10 trillion. So
Yeah,
public debt is over 2 times our budget.
But more. I mean, yeah, 26 trillion is high, but I think more of the issue is not really the debt, because if you compare your debt to GDP,
Okay.
we're still at 18.47%. I think our total GDP is about 60 trillion annual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think the limit is about maybe 25%. So we're still at 18%, right? And if you compare it to the other developed countries, you see that we're still very low. Like when you do the debt to GDP, I think US is at over 100%.
Okay.
UK, Canada, they're quite on the high side. But I think more of the problem is basically relative to our revenue. So most of these countries, if you compare their debt to their revenue, it's less than 20%. For Nigeria, we're about like 51% of our revenue. So which is where the problem is. I think it's a case of increasing your revenue. Every country, you need to borrow. Debt is not necessarily like the problem.
Right.
But if you're able to grow your revenue base, then you're literally within within the limit. So I think more of the problem is really how to increase our revenue. Because
Mm.
borrowing, you definitely need to borrow. I mean, even as a private individual, borrowing is not the bad thing,
Yeah.
but the revenue you're generating from what you're borrowing is really what the problem is. So at 51%, then there's a problem.
There's a problem.
As it 20 as of 2017, I'm sure by updated numbers it would have been higher than that by now.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, so that's really what the issue is.
Okay,
And
thank you for that. Let's see now. Okay, Kenneth was asking for the S, and Yinka is also asking for the number. I have just put the number on our WhatsApp status. You know how you guys with WhatsApp you can update your status. So go to Smooth FM's. If you save Smooth FM as a phone number, 0809 Go to our status right now. You will see the Las Copa poster with the 3 phone numbers, so you can report those fuel stations. Yeah, Kenneth, you're welcome. Okay, Kenneth has seen it. All right, what's next? Let's see here. Okay, yeah. Let's try something optimistic here. According to our Secretary to the Government of the Federation, the SGF, Nigeria to rank in top in World Bank ease of doing business by 2023. Highly optimistic. Olamide, they're saying they're going to put some things in place, which is going to get us.
I remember we were on Vision 2020 at some point in time.
Nice.
We are now in 2020, and I'm not sure if we've actually seen that vision happen. But again, I mean, you can't entirely be pessimistic about these things. All of the things they want to do, I mean, I
Yes.
think is achievable if the government to be more, let's be more accountable, more focused on, things that would directly grow the economy, not things that are not some mundane things. If some of those policies are not necessarily bad, some of the things they are saying they want to do,
Yes.
it's not like it's overly ambitious. We have countries that have done this thing and they've achieved it. So again, if nothing changes in terms of where the problem is, then I think it will just be another Vision 2023. We get to 2023, we'll maybe by another 4 to 5 years or another 3 years, and we're back at it again. So
So you're not very optimistic.
nah.
Oh goodness. Okay, people are still okay. So I'm seeing messages here from folks who are saying they can't see our status. You have to save Smooth FM's number again, 0809 But for those of you that are saying you don't see the poster, I will send it to you individually. See, that's an incentive for saving Smooth on saving Smooth's number on the WhatsApp status. Okay, Unilever has appointed someone new as their managing director. Who is this person? Is it a Nigerian, Olamide?
Well, no, it's not a Nigerian.
It's not a Nigerian.
It's not a Nigerian. He's supposed to be in charge of their Ghanaian and their Nigerian business, but I think I mean, changing their MD, I think more important is I think they had a very bad 2019.
Yeah.
As far as Unilever is concerned, they saw revenue dip by double digits.
Okay.
Last year, so they're going through a lot of restructuring. Their
Okay.
receivables surged significantly for 2019, and one of the strategies they've highlighted is how to significantly reduce it because the receivables is not necessarily translating into sales for them.
Okay.
So that's why you saw that double digits jump in their revenue over 2019.
Yeah.
I think full year we'll start seeing most of these companies release their full year results by say next month into March and all of that, and definitely we're not expecting a fantastic performance from them. So but I would think that the reason they are taking some of those steps is just to look for ways to improve most of the challenges they had in 2019. That was one of the strategies they highlighted that we're going to look out for in 2020.
Okay.
Look at how to reduce their receivables significantly and generate more sales organically, not necessarily the whole some non-organic sales that sales that that's not necessarily translating into cash for you really.
Okay.
Your cash actually fell significantly as a result of the growing receivables. So I guess that's probably one of the reasons they're going for this.
Their issues. But his name is Carlos Cruz, yeah?
Yes. Cruz,
yeah. Okay. So okay, cool. All of you that have sent messages, I said you saved our number. Don't worry. If you don't see it, I will send that number to each and every one of you individually. Which is, I'm giving myself homework here. It's a lot of people. Olufemi sent in the message, our timekeeper, Val, he says we should end at 7:03, that we started at 6:43. Olamide, we're ending now. Sorry. Okay, for everybody that sent in those messages, I will send the number to you. Olamide from ARM. Thank you so much for joining us today on Business Express. All right, folks, we will see you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Keep it locked on Smooth 98.1 FM.